Global energy supplies will likely be impacted by the current conflict, as an estimated 20% of international oil supplies flow through the Middle East. Markets already anticipating supply restrictions include potential impacts to a critical shipping channel between Iran and Oman. And that's pushed crude oil prices to the highest they've been in 6 months. Jennifer Crockett joins us again now with more information from industry leaders. Jennifer.
Well, getting more global supply out of Louisiana's expanding energy industry takes time. Louisiana Mid-Continent Oil and Gas Association's president says the industry here, though, will play a critical role in lessening Americans' burden on international oil and gas supplies in the future. That's as the association monitors the current conflict and ripple effects all across the world.
We saw a almost 2% increase this past week in anticipation of the United States and others taking action in the Middle East. But we should remember that the more that we can rely on domestic energy, the safer and more secure we are. And that's better for the national security of the country and clearly for the economic security of the country as well.
Well before the current conflict, the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management announced the next Gulf lease sale will happen March 11th. That department is under executive order to accelerate offshore oil and gas development.